Hey Internet, it's Aaron, your personal driver, and today we're going to talk about hashtag no Uber, and in general discuss, is Uber moral, is Lyft moral, what's the difference? Hey Internet, sorry about that. The video is pretty dark. I'm in post-production now, or editing, whatever you want to call it, so I'm not going to change it. I got some new lights. It's a new channel, so I'm trying new things. Sorry. Okay, so first off, this is an unplanned video, but what happened over this last week kind of blew up all over the internet and Twitter, and I kind of have to do a video about it now. So I'm going to put a video or link here to Uberman's discussion about the video, which I think is actually really awesome. And I'm also going to put a link here. What this is going to be is basically a response to those two videos and a general discussion about what's going on. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about what's happening, and people are confused, so I'm going to try to clarify. So first off, I need to discuss about corporations in general, because I feel like people don't understand what corporations are. Corporations are basically a machine. Like, we created corporations for the singular purpose of creating wealth. Like, the only job a corporation has is to make money. That's their only role, okay? And like, for a gazillion years, that's all they did, was they made money. A lot of people are mad at corporations. A lot of people think that corporations are taking over the world, and I kind of find it to be funny. Like, basically the story of corporations is the story of Terminator. It's like real life Terminator, only there's no explosions, Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't there, and it's really boring. Because they're machines. They just make more money and they don't care. Okay, when your only job is to make money, that means you're not moral either way. You're not a good company, you're not a benevolent company, you're not a bad company, right? Corporations don't have morality. They only have one motive, and that's to make profit. An example, like a classic example, is a company has waste, they don't know what to do with it, so they just dump it in a river. When corporations dump toxic waste into the river, for example, they're not doing it because they're evil, they're doing it because it's cheaper than going through the appropriate process to get rid of that waste. That's why regulation is important, right? We need to regulate corporations and say, hey, I know it's cheaper to put waste in water, but we don't want to do that because then people die. Two relatively new phenomena have happened that kind of have changed the history of the corporation, and the first is the internet. So this generation coming up has always had the internet, and they don't understand a world where they don't have access to all this information. If you're under 30, 35-ish and under, you have more access to information than anyone has ever had before ever. That's why this upcoming generation is smarter and more informed than everybody, because at their fingertips they have the ability to learn anything they want to. So it changes the way corporations have operated. For example, Google, one of the most successful and popular companies among millennials, their first motto, like the company motto, like when you signed up for Google and you worked for the company motto was "Don't be evil." And at the time, people were like confused, like their brains started blowing up, like, pfft. Like, what do you mean evil? What are you talking about? Google, you need to make money. You don't need to worry about morality. That's not what a corporation does. But because of the internet and because of the new generation of these young people growing up in the tech industry, morality has now been somehow attached to a company. Like, your company has to make money in a moral way, and that's new. Like, when I grew up, I went to Sears and I bought a washing machine, and I didn't give a shit who the corporate CEO of Sears was. I didn't care about GM. Like, does this washer work? That is all the information I needed, and I don't care where it was made, I don't care how it was produced, and I didn't give a fuck what the personal agenda of the CEO of GM making this washer was. He could do anything he wanted to. He could like be an evil dictator in a different country, and I would never know because I didn't have access to the internet and that information. Now we have that information. So before people make a purchase, they go through this long, extensive like internet search to find out about the company, to find out if their money is going to a good or bad corporation. And that's new because corporations never really operated in a moral or immoral way, they just operated. The second phenomenon is cell phones. Like, Uber wouldn't exist without a cell phone, and it couldn't exist for more than like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And that's because cell phones didn't have the computing power for it. Everyone is now carrying a computer in their pocket, and that exacerbates the problem of the internet. And that's what happened. People freaking the fuck out on social media. Like, social media just started blowing up. On Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, people started doing hashtag no Uber, hashtag ban Uber, and stuff like that. It happened instantaneously, and it happened out of nowhere. And honestly, I think it was an overreaction. Again, go to the Uberman video that I posted and watch. Like, what happened was there was a taxi cab strike because Trump banned immigrants, and there are a fuck ton of immigrants in the cab industry, so they were all super pissed off because that means they can't see their family and friends, and if they leave the country they can never come back again because they'll be arrested and deported. Because Trump is insane. Because that executive order, whether you like Trump or not, is an insane thing to do. So there's a strike, and Uber broke the strike. But that's not actually true. Uber doesn't do that. Like, people don't understand, Uber has no control or very little control over anyone who drives for Uber. Because Uber drivers are not employees. They're self-employed. They get 1099s. Now I'll do a video later about how they're actually employees and it's just bullshit, but Uber can't tell people not to drive in a place. If someone wants to drive in that place, they go and they drive in that place. So what happened was individual drivers decided that, oh my god, look, there's no taxi cabs, I'm gonna make a shit ton of money at the airport, and surge pricing with the roof. So what Uber actually did pisses me off more, which is they changed the surge pricing so drivers couldn't make more than a certain amount of surge, which sucks. Like if you're a driver, that sucks because surge is how you make your money, but I digress. Anyway, when people started picking up people at the airport during the strike, it really pissed people off and it went viral all over the internet. But see, here's the thing, people don't understand. It's not just the strike what happened. Like, it's been building up now in young people for a long time. They want companies to be moral. They want companies to treat everybody fairly. And Uber, over the past 3 years, has been fucking everybody. They've been fucking their drivers. They've been fucking the taxi cab industry. They've been fucking their passengers. Like, internationally, they just are terrible. They've lost $3 billion and they have no way to make a profit. And the reason they've lost all that goddamn money is because their fares are so low that the company can't recoup profit on the rideshare. It's like literally the business model of Uber is to destroy all competition and make rates so low that no one can compete with them because they don't need to make money on the rides. They make money from investors. And so like the business model of Uber is a failed model. It's gonna fail if they don't change it. And people are starting to understand this because of the internet. People are getting pissed off at Uber. This is more like the straw that broke the camel's back than it was in retaliation to a strike. So what does this mean? Well, for Lyft, it meant that for one day, they got more downloads than Uber did, which has never happened before, and it scared the shit out of Uber. In fact, Uber overreacted. They now have a defense fund for any driver who is an immigrant or has family that needs immigration help. They put $3 million aside because they needed to do something because they look so bad. Like Lyft has never done that before. It's a smaller company than Uber, and it's trying really hard to grow. And basically what this did is just gave them a bunch of Uber customers who honestly don't understand how anything works. Furthermore, those Uber drivers at the airport that broke the strike also drive for Lyft because I would say 9 out of 10 drivers drive for both. Because if you have Lyft in your market and you have Uber in your market, it doesn't make any sense to just do one or the other. You drive for both. I know some people only drive for Lyft because it's like a moral thing, right? Or it's a compensation thing. So really, honestly, by deleting Uber and downloading Lyft, you're not doing anything. It's the same thing. It's the same driver who's gonna break the same strike at the airport, so that doesn't really do anything. That being said, Lyft is better for drivers. More people using Lyft is good, because if you're looking at strictly from a business standpoint, there's no way that you can tell me Uber is better than Lyft, because it's not true. The rates are about the same for Lyft and Uber, and the only way to make money is through tips. Because without tips, you're not going to make a profit doing Uber or Lyft. And Uber doesn't give you the ability to tip. So the ultimate result from this is that more people are going to use Lyft. And that's a good thing for drivers. Drivers should be happy. In fact, if you're an Uber driver right now, you should join #NoUber because the elimination of Uber helps you. It gives you more money in your pocket. It makes your business operate better. But that being said, that's not why people are doing #NoUber. People are doing #NoUber because it's like a cool thing to do. And this is the last thing I'll say. As a business, as a corporation, in the United States today, and probably in a lot of the rest of the world, you have to understand that the rules are different. You have to know who your customer base is. Uber is a tech company. It's not a transportation company. It's like a bunch of Silicon Valley dudes and guys from San Francisco who created a technical application that revolutionized the way people do travel. If you're a tech company, you have to want more than profit. You have to not be evil, like Google, okay? If you're a technology company, you need to know who the vast majority of your customers are. They're 35 and under, they're very young, they're very educated, they are very liberal, and they hate Trump. Like if you're under 25 right now, the word Trump itself is like a swear word to you. Like millennials hate Trump at more than anyone else on the planet Earth right now. Like I'm not an idiot. I know Uber has to work with Trump. I know they have to meet with Trump. And I know that they have to, like going forward, deal with the politicians they have now. Because the politicians they have now affect Uber's bottom line. I understand that. But if you're the CEO, if you're to hire executives in Uber, you need to understand your customer base wants you to not like Trump. So you need to make these public statements like Amazon does, like Google does, like Yahoo does, where you come out against Trump in public. You can't be taking pictures with the dude, you can't be writing articles about how you're going to work with him, and you certainly can't take a position in his cabinet because all of your customers are going to get pissed off and leave. It's bad business. They're not thinking about it. And that's why Lyft is going to take a larger market share this year than they did last year. Uber is going to continue to lose to Lyft because Lyft understands that they're a tech company and they understand who their base is. And Uber has no idea what they're doing because honestly, they don't care about their customers or their drivers. The only reason Uber is a business right now is because people keep investing in it. It's crazy, man. But even if Uber loses a ton of market share, it's not really going to change anything. They're such a global monster right now that no one is close to beating them. I mean, that being said, giant corporations in the past have died because of lack of innovation. And so if Uber doesn't continue to change with the current times we're in, it'll die off and other companies will come in its place. And before I go, I just want to say, guys, if you're a consumer and you're on the East Coast, and you worry about morality, the most moral company, use Juno. Juno's a new ride-sharing app. It's only in New York, I think, and maybe a few small places on the East Coast. But if you're in those places, use Juno because it's way better for drivers. And really, that's gonna do more than a hashtag. So yeah, I'm actually happy that people are getting rid of Uber and they're signing up for Lyft. That actually helps drivers and it puts more money in my pocket, it puts more money in drivers' pocket. But if you want to use Uber, like I said, it's fine. Just remember, tip. It's not Uber that makes the rideshare company moral or immoral. It's you, the customer. And if you tip, you're being moral. So in your market, if you don't have Juno, if you don't have Lyft, or if you do, you just want to use it, that's fine. You're not being an immoral person. What makes you an immoral person is whether or not you decide to tip. Yeah, I went there. So if you're using Uber, make sure you have cash on yourself. I'm looking at you, internet. Bye. Hey everyone, this is my son. I woke him up when I was doing videos. Say hi, internet.
Hi, internet.
Say like, comment, subscribe.
Slide.
Say put comments below.
Put comments below.
One over here now and say, if you guys want to be an Uber, Lyft, or Juno driver, you can click the links to the left-hand side and they'll go ahead and take care of that for you. Thumbs up, point. Okay, say bye, internet.
Bye, internet. Thumbs up in the comments.
Yeah, thumbs up in the comments. That's right. Johnny, were you supposed to be sleeping?
Yes.
Daddy woke you up?
Yes.
Yeah. Now you're doing videos on the internet, huh?
Yes.
Is it fun?
Yes.
Tell the people what they want to hear, Johnny. Who's your favorite Avenger?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. All right, bye, internet.
What?
Like, if you're under 25, probably Trump sends you into seizures and you have to go, like, cry in a corner. I shouldn't say that. On Twitter and Facebook and Photoshop or... So, Photoshop is not a social media platform, Aaron. Photoshop is a program. You are old and dumb. And you should be yelling at kids to get off your lawn, not doing YouTube. Kids? I shouldn't call them kids. Just remember, what makes the a goddamn dog. I don't give a fuck if, you know, what the personal agenda... Hey internet, it's Aaron. And today... Hey internet, it's Aaron. And this is easy, why are you fucking up? Again, go to the Uberman channel that Again, go to the Uberman channel. It's not a channel, it's a YouTube channel. Oh, fuck, God damn it. So in your technology company, you need to realize that you're... So in your... Why can't I talk today? So... And cell phones have only had the computing... And cell phones have only had the computing Jesus fucking Christ. Computing capacity. Why am I such a fucking idiot? When you're a technology company, you need to I can't even fucking talk. Jesus Christ. And I'm out of water. The world is coming to an end. So, So yeah, I hope that people started freaking the fuck out on Twitter, on I forgot everything. And people started freaking the fuck out on Twitter and Facebook. That's a thing. And people started freaking the fuck out on Twitter and on why can't I think of the word Facebook? Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. That's 3 things. I should be able to say that. I can't say that. Stupid. Stupid. And people started freaking the fuck out.